This episode is brought to you by Cricket Wireless. Ever wonder why people who come to Cricket stay with Cricket? If you think it's because of the blazing fast 5G, well, you'd be right. If you think it's because of the reliable nationwide coverage, then yep, right again. But it's probably also because you get all that and more at a price that'll make you smile. Besides, you wouldn't listen to this podcast at half speed, so why settle for slow wireless service? Upgrade by switching to Cricket today. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and other restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, in a moment, I'm about to live stream, so I figured, you know what, let me go ahead and squeeze in one last podcast episode for today. I don't even know what game I'm gonna stream. I bought this game called Enlisted, so I might stream that, but then I might just end up just going to the good old reliable, the Division 2. But then there's a new update in Call of Duty, so I'm like, bro, I don't know what to do. Maybe I should just stream and play all 3 games tonight. I don't know. But anyways, so what I wanted to talk on was just the attention from like the haters that I'm receiving. I know a lot of people, like, they get on me for talking about haters, like, don't acknowledge them, don't say this, don't say that, don't do this, don't do that. And I'm fine with that. I'm 100% fine with that. You know, I can, because my thing is, like, I got 30 YouTube channels. Me doing stuff like this, when I'm uploading videos, see, you have to understand, like, when I'm uploading videos, when I'm working on videos, when I'm just doing whatever, I get kind of curious on why I received the hate that I did. Now I understand that there's things that was made up about me and there's things that was being said about me. But other than that, I was like, there was at a point in time before where I was legit just getting hate for no reason. And then even now, like, I still get hate for no reason. Like, it trips me out when I go and I check videos on my other channel. And I already know who's behind that. And that's the whole racist Twitter hater guy that's was on. He's been on my case since 2018, I think it was 2018, but been on my case since then, always has something to say, and it trips me out, like, some of the things that I've seen from him, like, you know, him talking about my merch, or him talking about a video that I did, or even a podcast episode, or responding to something that I said, and it could be about another hater, it could be about him, but my thing is like, they try to make it seem like that they're in the better situation, like they're in the driving lane that's like all the cars is just flying by and I'm in the slow lane, like I'm the one with the problems. Now I might sound like I'm a person with problems, but I would have to say that I'm one of the very few people in the world where I just look beyond. I try to, like, turn my problems into a positive, you know, like I don't be that person where I'm like, everybody has to feel my wrath, everybody has to feel my anger. But I feel like that is one thing for sure with my haters. There is something outside of me that triggers them, that gets them upset, that makes them angry. And then they're putting themselves in this angry state on a different environment. And that's like, no, what you need to do, rather than hating on my videos, figure out your problems. Figure out your issues. Don't look at me as a solution. I'm not a solution unless you want to sit down and have a civil conversation about whatever problems that you're facing. Then okay, cool. I'm willing to do that because I do that with everybody. But when it comes to a point in time where I'm legit just shouting out friends, or I'm promoting a channel that I'm working on, or I'm promoting my podcast, or I'm promoting my live stream, and you feel like you need to join my live stream and just start, like, you know, saying random crap, and then people, like, try to say that that's trolling, but I'm like, I don't see it as trolling. I see it as that you have a serious medical condition. You got something going on mentally. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's something. Like, and that's one thing where they always try to, like, tell me, I guess, to have, like, some sort of sympathy for them. Because I remember one of the situations, I remember when a hater had joined one of my live streams, they tried to make me feel bad because I said that some girl or whoever it is, I said that her throat needs to get chewed out by a dog. And that was only because they love to, like, leave out why I say the things I say. Because it's like, you have to sit down and think about it. I don't know who this girl is, so why would I say what I said? Does that make any sense? So the girl had put my videos in the same conversation as in a mass shooting that had happened in New Zealand. So yeah, there was a shooting that had happened in New Zealand some years ago, and YouTube had made like a tweet like paying their respects to those that was lost, and overall like showing their sympathy and love to those that was affected by it. And whoever this hater was, had responded to that tweet talking about my videos. And that made me upset because I'm like, this is not a point in time to be talking about my videos or having my videos in the same conversation as a shooting that just happened. Do you honestly think that YouTube or anybody else is thinking about my videos? You're the only one that's thinking about my videos. You and everybody else that's hating on my videos. So my question is to everybody, why should I be okay with that? Like, I'm not allowed to be upset. I'm not allowed to feel a certain way. Like, I'm just supposed to be like, oh, it's okay that she had my videos, or overall just me as a person in the same kind. As if like what the videos I upload is equivalent to a mass shooting. If you agreed on that, something is like, no, so that's what they were trying to say about the girl, was that she's autistic. So I'm like, okay, at the time being, I was like, okay, well, you know what? Let me just show a little sympathy. But I noticed a pattern. When they get caught up in some dumb stuff, they always like to hide behind that. They always like to say, oh, well, I suffer from autism, so that's why I'm allowed to say and do the things that. So here's the thing. Here's just a little old story about me, because there was, I remember there was a time when I was in elementary, and I went to, that's what had happened. I went to go fight this kid. The kid didn't want to fight me. So I ended up, because I had threw my stuff down. I remember I think I had just got a book from the book fair too. So I had I was like looking at the book. I remember the kid that I wanted to fight, he said something to me. So I threw my stuff down, chased after him, said like, no, we're going to fight. So we ended up fighting. I went back outside to go get my stuff. So there's this area in the school where they had like all the like kids that was autistic and things. Like they had them in like one area of the school for the buses and stuff. So I come back, I noticed the book that I had just bought at the book fair, I noticed that it wasn't there. So I looked over at the kid and I was just like, hey, did you see my book? And he was like, yeah, I threw it on top of the roof. I'm looking at him confused, like, why would you do that? And he was like, I just felt like doing it. And that's where it kind of like clicked with me that there's maybe something is wrong with him. But just on how calm he had said that, I was like, wait a minute, what? Why would you? And then I remember it was like later on that school year that the janitor that worked there, he ended up giving the book to me. And I'm like, bro, like it rained, snowed, like it was all these bad weather conditions. Book was like all dirty and stuff. I'm like, I don't want this book no more. I'm like, it's not even, I'm saying like I ended up throwing the book away. But it's times where I'm like, when things like that happen, and I'm not saying like, everybody that's autistic, they need to look a certain way or do things a certain way or, whatever. But I do feel like that there are at times where people do try to hide behind that stuff. Like, and I'm not calling out every autistic person in the world. I know people are going to be thinking that this is going to probably be one of the most controversial topics that I've ever talked on. Even I'm thinking that it's one of the most controversial topics that I've ever talked on. But I do feel like that he just said that kid, like, he suffers from something, right? He obviously suffers from something, but he's casually just sitting there playing the Nintendo DS, okay? Because they had just came out, or a Game Boy, whichever one he was playing. He was just playing some handheld thing, casually just sitting there, just okay with the fact that, so I knew something was wrong with him, so I just left it alone. But I did have some evil thoughts that day. I was like, I should have punched that kid in the face. But something, he was at that part of the school where it's like, that's where, the autistic kids are at. So you know what? Because of that reason, I'm going to let it go. But that just doesn't make it cool that you do that. So I am willing to let this situation go with this girl, like, but you have to understand that that's not cool to put my name in the same conversation as a mass shooting. Like, now that I'm a little bit older and I kind of have like a don't care attitude, that's where I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm going to have to check you on that. I really can care less on how old you are, what things you got going on in life. I'm going to have to sit down and talk to you about that. And if it still doesn't click in your head that that's not normal, then yes, that's when I'm going to put you in that category. It's like, no, besides you being autistic, no, there's something like far more deeper than it. Like where you're saying things like that. The crazy thing about it is the people that were defending her, making it seem like that I was in the wrong for what I said. Oh, because she's, some underage girl with autism. So I'm supposed to feel bad. So I'm supposed to, no. And I still don't feel bad. So it's like, if you want to use this against me, make videos about it, go right ahead. Go right ahead. I can care less. I honestly can care less. And the thing is that to put people in my shoes, how would that make you feel? Like, honestly, how would that, and I remember that's why I kept asking the person that had, they had joined my live stream and was overall talking on it. I was like, how would that make you feel if somebody was, comparing your videos or putting them in the same conversation as a mass shooting? Like, you would look at them a certain way. You would be like, yo, what's up with that? What's turning in your head, but it's not turning correctly. Like all the other knobs and everything else is working perfectly fine except that one knob, that one wire in your brain that just, it messes up everything, just slows down the whole process of your thinking. Like, how would that make you feel if somebody had said that, compared whatever, stuff that you were working on, compared it to something crazy? Like, let's say, for an example, you are a cashier at McDonald's and you messed up on somebody's order and they compared you messing up on their order, that one little order, they compared you messing up, you doing that to the 9/11 events. How would that make you feel? Like, I would look at them, I don't care if I was a fly on the wall, a passenger in the person's car, or the cashier, or whoever. You have to understand, and then you're like, are you serious? Like, you're really going to compare me leaving out your fries to the 9/11 events? Like, what's wrong with you? You crazy or something? And then they're all like, oh, no, I'm autistic. Like, that's when you're like, well, what do you, like, okay, and I'm black. Like, what do you expect me to say about that? Like, we all have problems. We all do things. But when you do something to that extent, you have to get called out on it. And I know people are always trying to, like, make it seem like that, oh, I know then they were also trying to throw that in my face. I think that's what they very first threw at my face, was that she was underage. I'm like, I don't care if she's underage. And then that's when they was just like, oh, and she's autistic too. I'm like, all right, it's messed up that she's autistic, but I'm like, ain't nobody going to like get on her about that. I'm the only one that's getting on her about that. You guys that made these videos left and right talking about, oh, TMossBoss wishes harm on a little girl, but don't explain why TMossBoss explained or wished harm on a little girl. Like, obviously I'm not being serious. I'm like, yeah, if a dog ripped that girl's throat out, I would be like, oh my God, like, do I have these powers? That's just the anger that runs through your head when you see things like that. I feel like that a lot of these guys, like, you don't know what anger feels like. You don't know what it feels like to be in my shoes when you got people saying those types of things about you. And then, like, what reaction is a person supposed to have? And I do remember where the person, they joined my live stream and they was all like, oh, well, I would have just ignored her. No, you wouldn't. No, you would have not just ignored. I'm like, I can ask anybody in any conversation, what would you do to that? And I know a lot of people will most likely say, I would correct them, which is how I try to do things. But I will have to admit, I do go a little bit overboard about it. But me going overboard, that should be a clear sign. Hey, it's not smart to say things like that. Because I'm saying, like, in any given situation, if you compare the most minor situation, somebody accidentally bumps into you at freaking Foot Locker or Target, and then you compare it to the Columbine shootings, like, do you not understand how stupid that sounds? Or you have it in the same conversation, like, oh, somebody, like, you walk in the middle of a conversation of two people just talking on the Columbine shootings, you walk in and be like, hey, this guy just bumped into me. Do you understand, like, how confused those people will be looking at you? Like, okay, we were kind of talking on, like, a serious topic here, like, bump into this person back, or do whatever you need to do. But it's like, you have to understand that that's not normal. Like, to just walk in the middle of a person's like serious conversation about something, and then you are like, oh, this person just bumped into me. Okay, and defend yourself. Like, I think that's what a lot of people that I deal with, that they don't know how to defend themselves. They all just like to, team up and just be all like, oh, okay, we work better in teams, but as an individual, because what, the racist Twitter hater, after I called him out on, freaking the Black Lives Matter, because he did say things about that. He said that he was all like, oh, I don't care for the Breonna Taylor situation. And then, of course, like, saying that I deserve a news, calling me the N-word. What other things? Oh, I mean, stalking me for the past, like, 2.5, 3 years and stuff. Call him out on that. And what does he do? He runs to other people, and he's all like, hey, TMossBoss is saying this about me. TMossBoss is... And then there was this person not too long ago that joined my live stream, pretended to be like a fan, but was really just one of the many people that have made videos about me. But he ended up having other friends a part of the live stream, couldn't do it on his own. Just a robot. When I called them out on trying to get me to do some video with Minnesota or about Minnesota Boy with them, what does he do? Runs to his fans. They cannot. And I just refuse to believe that we can have a civil one-on-one. It seems like every time when I get into it with these guys, they always have some people there, and it's like, oh, let's just spam TMossBoss and just say all these stupid things at the same time that makes no sense. And then like that's honestly, that's why I'm so quick to block people, because I'm like, you guys aren't saying things. You're not saying anything that makes any sense. You guys are just saying a bunch of random crap. Like, that's how I see all of the videos. That's how I see all the tweets, posts, comments, whatever things that you guys want to leave. But I see it as crap. Stuff that it's like, if you want to take this to CNN News, or if you want to take this to the YouTube headquarters, or you want to go to even somebody like Keemstar or Scarce or any other news-related channel, or you want this to be the most trending thing on Twitter, or in the Explore page, or the For You page for Instagram and TikTok, nobody is going to care. Because when you sit down and think about it, why did all of this stuff happen? Why am I making this podcast episode right now? Why are you guys hating on me every single day? Every day when I post a video, every day when I post something on social media or a podcast episode, why are you guys hating on me every single day? When you sit down and decode it, and you go all the way to the roots, okay? There's this big giant tree. When you go all the way down to the very first root on how this tree got built, this was all because I did reaction, or I do reaction videos. Do you understand how stupid that is? Like, you just, maybe they won't, but I know other people will. Because every time, it's funny when every time when I explain this to people, like why I get hate and stuff, because I think a lot of people now, they just don't really care. But when I've explained it to people on why I get hate on my channel or videos or all that stuff, they're all like, well, how did it all start? Well, I was just like, oh, I do reaction videos. There's like the videos that literally everybody watches right now. Like, that's why. And then that's another reason why I'm like, after reaction videos started blowing up, these guys had to find other things to say and like make videos about me. So it's funny how they're all like, oh, TMossBoss doesn't know how to let things go. He doesn't know how to... No, I'm not going to let this go. You guys had attacked my channel for 4 years straight, ruining my algorithm with videos. 4 years worth of videos across all of my channels. You guys messed that up. And then I'm supposed to be okay with the fact that, oh yeah, it's fine, it's cool, yeah, mess up all of my videos, make up lies and stories about me, run with them as if that stuff is actually true, with no legitimate proof. Oh, we just hired this random girl to say that she's suicidal and things to, I guess, make TMossBoss feel bad. Oh, we had Joshua have him fill out or, attack TMossBoss or whatever that situation is with his mom. And I'm like, that was probably one of the only, I have to admit, that was probably the one and only situation I felt bad for. But once when I seen that he was helping other people, I seen that he was telling me to be quiet about the situation, but was helping out all of these different channels and videos, commenting on their videos, say, oh, nice video, good video, and it's of them just talking about how I made fun of his tribute video, not knowing that it was a tribute video for his mom. That's one thing that they also like to leave out. But it's like they want to just make sure that I look bad and that they look good. But it's like you have to sit down and think about it. Who's going to watch these videos? If you claim, that's one thing that I've said for a few years. If you claim that my channel is dying, my channel is dead, nobody watches my videos, who's watching your quote unquote well put together TMossBoss video? Who's watching that? Because I'm saying, like, if I'm scrolling through the internet and I see this video about some random person that I don't know about, oh, he freaking does reaction videos, or he did this, or he did that, I'm not going to care. I am not going to care. So I know that one day eventually I will come across these guys again. Most likely when I'm a little bit more bigger on YouTube or with whatever that I'm doing. But I know that there's going to be a point in time when I do come across these guys again. There's going to most likely be a situation where I'm at like 100,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers, 10 million, whatever. And I know it's going to probably be a point in time where it's either just a robot or somebody else. And they're going to be like, oh, back in the day, TMossBoss said and did this and did that. I'm just like, hey, guys, if y'all are hearing this episode, all right, while all of this stuff has ended for now, if you guys are hearing this episode and this is like, you know, you're going back to like see what I had to say about this, everybody that has made videos of some sort of negative video about me are haters. They ain't even something where it's like where they tried to claim that they were giving me constructive criticism or any of that. They like to hide behind a lot of reasons and excuses and everything else on why they're on my case and on my, you know, cojones like 24/7. They are haters. Plain and simple. Can't describe them any other way. Stalkers with some cases, but haters for most of the cases. So if y'all don't understand that, I'm sorry. But I'm not going to be that person where I'm apologizing to people. First off, people that doesn't even really care for my well-being. And then second, people that just don't really care for the videos that I'm doing. Maybe if it was fans, maybe it's, I'm willing to listen to fans. I'm willing to listen to supporters, which I do. But when it's people that's like, one day they're telling me to kill myself. Next day they're calling me the N-word. Next day they're trying to, then all of a sudden switch to, oh, we're just trying to help you. We're just trying to give you constructive criticism, telling me to hang myself, telling me to drink bleach, telling me to pull a trigger in my head or something like that. That's constructive criticism? Calling me the N-word or any other racist derogatory name that you guys have called me? That's constructive criticism? You know what? Like, that's, if y'all want to believe that, go ahead and believe that. But I'm just saying, like, good luck with it. But anyways, yeah, I need to go ahead and start up this live stream. So I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. I just had to get this stuff off my chest. I've been watching a lot of Gordon Ramsay videos, so I got a little bit riled up, and I was like, you know what? Let me talk about something. Let me be really, really passionate about something. So anyways, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you're viewing this on YouTube, like, subscribe. If you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Check me out on Twitch, TMossBoss, Twitter, Instagram, TMossBoss, TikTok, TMossBoss. I just recently got back into my Facebook page. I'm going to start posting videos on there. But yeah, just search up TMossBoss and you'll find it. What other thing? Oh yeah, subscribe to my 30 YouTube channels or whichever channel looks more appealing to you. Oh, and then that's another thing, by the way, how they always like to call me lazy and stuff. What YouTuber do you know that's lazy with 30 YouTube channels? Sit and think with that, okay? And active on all of them. So, but yeah, subscribe to one of my many 30 YouTube channels. And until then, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.